Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope you guys have had a good start to your week and that you had a good weekend as well. So the first thing to report is that I did take a few hours out of, not yesterday, I think the day before, to organise my desk and to clean it and to rewire it and everything. So I'm hoping that everything's going to work tonight for the live stream, but it means that I now have the dial on my left here that's within reach in order to take down the levels of, you know, the videos that are playing, so then I can hear them in the background, because before it was in a bit of an annoying position. I had to keep on leaning forward to try and reach it. So everything is a bit more organized, and I don't know, it's something to do with the way that my mind works, but just having everything clean and just having a keyboard and a mouse and just this little interface on the left, and that's it, really helps to keep things organized. So yeah, it's a lot more organized than it was, which is great. Hopefully everything will work with the guitar and the amp and, you know, everything that we have, if we do indeed have a Phil Jam at the end of tonight's live stream. But first of all, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this possible in the first place. So a huge thank you to the lovely people going across the bottom of the screen. You know who you are, and I always say they are the foundation of everything that I do. So yeah, a huge thank you to you guys. Let's see who's in the live chat room tonight. We have PN112, Debbie, Melody, Rocks, Anna, Diamond Girl, Angela, Bob, Alison, Billy, Bella, Amanda, Greatest Ever, Pink Thistle, Tortoro, Porco, Anna, Billy, Laura, and then Teresa, and it's gone through the top of the screen. So good to see you guys on this Tuesday night. And I'm trying to think of what the likes goal is going to be. I couldn't remember it. It's 515, and I believe all of the twos, 222, was Saturday's live stream. We're now on Phil Jam number 223. So if you could leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated, because if we hit the goal of 515, we will bust out the guitar and have a jam at the end of the live stream. So let's see where we are with the likeometer. It always moves when we start the live stream. But there it is. 518 is what we... Oh, no, 218. Did I just say 500? Oh, I'm getting confused as to what numbers I'm saying. We're aiming for 515, and we're at 219. So those are the numbers. And, 222. So we've got all the twos all over again, but not for tonight's Phil Jam. It's 223. So anyway, yeah, there we go. That is going to be, well, it would be another 300, what, 292? I'm going to go with that. That's how many more we need before the end of the live stream. That might have been either my best or my worst maths ever, depending on how close that was. But if it was 215, that would be 300. Right, yeah. So basically just a long way to go until the end of the live stream. And yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that'd be great. So let me get the final thing up on the screen, which is the donations tab. And there's something about this condenser mic cradle that I'm not liking the angle of it, because I'm gonna have to get a new one. It doesn't matter how tightly I do it up, it still sometimes just loses its grip and just falls down, and I'm not liking the angle with which it is hanging at the moment. It could just fall down at any time, and when I say fall down, I mean it just goes boom, so it doesn't actually fall onto the desk or anything. But I'll have to get, yeah, a new one of these. It's a bit annoying. So yeah, anyway, just to warn you if that happens, and if something does happen that is, I don't know, a surprise or something that suddenly goes wrong, I have the test card thing that we used to use here in the UK. I say we, the people at, I think the BBC would show this on screen when something went wrong, or when they stopped transmission for the evenings, everyone would just see this on screen. So it's just a girl and a teddy, or a clown teddy. So everyone would just look at this, and this is all there was overnight. And then when it all started up again, it would disappear. So I was thinking that it would be good if something suddenly happened. Say that this fell down and I had to cut away because I had to try and fix it. I could do that, and then I could put the picture corner music in the background. And I don't know whether that's playing or not, or whether you can hear my voice anymore, but that's what you're going to be met with if anything disastrous happens behind the scenes. So I'll stop the music, I get rid of that, but at least I've got an emergency protocol that I can jump into. Anyway, back to it. The donations tab is up on screen because you don't have to donate, just watching is great. So I know that people do donate, and thank you for that, but you don't have to for analysis videos or during these live streams. But Christian said playing and we can hear your voice. So thank you for that. Now, the other thing is that when I think the video goes out, and then it's maybe 20 or 30 seconds before either people see it or I see the result of the transmission or the live stream. So I'm always about 20 seconds behind. And I think this is why with the likeometer, even though people say, oh, we've hit the target, on my screen it still looks like we haven't hit the target, because I'm live streaming live, but what I'm seeing and what I'm screen capturing is happening about 20 seconds in the past. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, donations, you don't have to donate for analysis videos or the live streams or anything. But for those people that do donate and can't resist, I think it's important they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. Introduce yourself into the live chat room, say hello, and we'll get to know each other, and I get used to your usernames and the little pictures that sometimes are there, but sometimes it's just a letter, depending on how you have set up your YouTube account. But getting into the donations, I can see already that Paul's donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is 480,000 subscribers, most excellent. Let's have fun tonight and spike the likes. All y'all rock. So thank you for that, Paul, and thank you for reminding me that we have now hit, as Paul said, 480,000 subscribers, which is great. And yeah, it's always good to hit another big number. That certainly is a big number. So thank you guys for liking, subscribing, getting involved, leaving comments, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we'll keep on pushing forward and see where we end up. But in order to get notified for the videos, you'll have to make sure that you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, and then hope that YouTube does send out the notifications, because it can be a little bit hit and miss with that, depending on the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. But as long as you're subscribed and you hit that bell, then at least you've maximised your chances of getting notified for the live streams and the videos. So let's get rid of that. And Vicky has donated $5. Thank you for that, Vicky. And the message is, finally plucked up courage to get back on my computer after being scammed for $10,000 by a scammer. So miss a few streams. Rock on, Phil. So thank you for that, Vicky. And yeah, I'm sorry to hear about, you know, these scams that are going on, and people that, you know, get pulled into these scams. But the problem is that they're so advanced nowadays. And just to give you an idea, I got two new phones, and this is all to do with authentic vocal and needing phones for that are separate to what I do on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, so I got two new phones, and I went to the shop. It was all official, and they gave me the phones. And when you get a new phone, they then send you text messages that say, you know, register your phone for this or that, or welcome to, it's EE, which is the service provider. They say, welcome to EE, and congratulations on buying your new phone, all this kind of stuff. So it comes through as text messages. Now, the scammers obviously have some kind of way in to EE, because they know, or they knew, that I've just bought two new phones. So what the scammers do is they put their messages, and they put out their messages at exactly the same time as the official ones from EE. So the first text would be something like, welcome to EE. The second text would be something like, here's your monthly breakdown of what you can use, what you can't use. The third text will be something like, over your last contract you have 300 points waiting to be spent in your account, so make sure you use them up before the end of the month. And then the final text will be something like, if you want to go abroad, these are your roaming charges. And so you've got 4 texts. The third one was a scam, even though it says from EE. So they've done it all at exactly the same time, so that all of the official text messages are there, but they know you've just bought a phone. They know when EE put out the automatic messages. Therefore, they text at that exact time, hoping to blend in with everything else and the fact that it says it's from EE. And yeah, I mean, I tend not to follow on from any links that I'm sent via text messages anyway, regardless of who they're from, even if they're official. I always kind of double check on the internet. But that third one was a scam. So, this is the kind of level that we're talking about, that you can get a new phone and you can get what looks like 4 official text messages that are sent to you because you've just got the new phone on the day you get the phone, and one of those is a scam. And basically the way that it worked is you're supposed to go to the link on the text, press it, and then now this is all fabricated. So they've fabricated their own EE website. Obviously it looks exactly the same as the real one, and they'll have something where you have to spend your points by the end of the month. And in order to do that, there must be something where they start to get more details from you in order to then clear the funds for what you're then allowed to spend your points on. So that's all the scam part. So yeah, sorry to hear about that, Vicky. And just as a quick note on YouTube, in lots of different comment sections of lots of different channels, there are scams that happen regularly, and I try to shut them down as soon as possible when they're in my comment section. But it's always asking to chat privately, or chat to me on Telegram, or I've got something to tell you, or you've won a guitar, and all those kinds of things. And generally, I mean, so far it's been along the lines of, oh, you've won a guitar, all you've got to do is pay for postage. And somebody emailed me saying, yeah, I've got a message on YouTube saying that I've won a guitar. And obviously it was from like Wings of Pegasus, or something's changed about the username, or maybe Wings _of Pegasus. And yeah, it always has to be a variation because they can't use my channel name because it's mine, Wings of Pegasus. Without any special characters or anything, and the tick next to the channel name, that's the important thing to look out for. So yeah, this scam was, you've won a guitar, all you have to do is pay for postage, and the postage was like £110. So somebody said to me, yeah, just wondering about the postage is very expensive. And I said, don't pay any attention to anything like that, because yeah, it's a scam, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't do anything like that, and I won't do in the future because of these scams. It's just, too risky to do something as a giveaway and then somebody will think that they've won when in fact that was a scam. But then there might have been another one that was official, but I'm just not doing anything. So yeah, anything like that, just don't pay any attention to it. And I do try to remove it as soon as I see any comments like that are scams. But sadly, it's something that happens quite a lot on YouTube. But stay vigilant, and I think just be suspicious of everything. That's the way to avoid scams. And then even when you are suspicious of everything, like my phone thing, I think a lot of people would have got taken in by that. So I think I'm lucky to be of the generation that I am, but also I'm interested in computers and computing, and I know how things work, and like clicking on who the emails come from and making sure that everything is as it should be. But it's always best to check with the actual company and get their official telephone number, email from their official website, so then you can double check. But yeah, thank you for that, Vicky, and I hope that all sorts itself out, and that you can get that money back. I think here in the UK we're quite strict with all of that stuff. If people have been scammed out of money, I think more often than not the bank will put that money back in the person's account, because it is clearly a scam, and the person will have evidence of the scam, so it can all be followed up by the police as well. But thank you for that. Right, there have been donations over on PayPal as well, so I will just jump into those quickly. And actually, let me go back to the first one that came through after the last live stream. It was Linda who donated £15. Thank you for that, Linda. And the message is, just wanted to thank you. Have a good evening. Peace. So thank you for that, Linda. And that was sent through on Sunday. That was just after the live stream on Saturday night. So Mish Marie has donated £3. So thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, what are artificial harmonics and can you please demonstrate it on the guitar? Thanks, rock. So thank you for that. And I guess this could be quite a good test of, since I've rewired everything to make sure that the guitar's still working. So, first of all, I mean, artificial harmonics are exactly what they sound like. They're harmonics that don't happen naturally, so they're not natural harmonics. But anyway, let me turn on that, and it's the Strat that's plugged in, so it will be the Strat for the Phil Jam tonight. Did I just see something in the live chat room about... it's just Diane saying about the scam, about the underscores and things that you'll see from those fraudulent channels that are set up, trying to get people to go over to Telegram or scam them or whatever. But anyway, so Mitch Marie has said, right, artificial harmonics. So I'm going to see if you guys can actually hear this to begin with. So I think that's coming through. Right, so I'll give you a natural harmonic to begin with. Let's say the G. Can you hear the difference between that and the harmonic? So that's me fretting G. And that's a harmonic. So, and that's a natural harmonic, which means you're basically just dividing the string in two, and you're getting the harmonic of the note. And what the technique for doing a natural harmonic is just stopping the string from vibrating, like, instantly. So not instantly, technically you hit the string, hopefully you can hear this. Can you hear this? But rather than getting the note ringing out. Hopefully you can hear the difference between the two. Anyway, so artificial harmonics. Right, so what you need to do is, first of all, not talking about technique, an artificial harmonic. Say that I wanted to play a C here, and I now wanted to have the harmonic in exactly the same way that I just did. So I would go up the string and exactly an octave, so we're splitting that string in half to get the harmonic. So what we're doing is we're looking at where we are on the guitar, and it will be up here. So if I now went like this, hopefully you can hear that there's nothing happening. So we're not getting a harmonic, which means that playing that, obviously in order to kind of get a harmonic, you would have to do the same technique, and I would probably advise doing this without a pick. So what happens is, when we're trying to hit the string, we do that. Now that was an artificial harmonic. Hopefully you heard that. It's a little bit quiet, but that's without and that's with. Hopefully you can hear the difference between those two. So that second one was an artificial harmonic. So what I'm doing is, there's different ways of doing it. I don't play kind of artificial harmonics at all, really, but at least I'm getting pressure on the string, and I have my first finger resting on the string, and then you want to pluck the string with your thumb and at the same time touch it with your first finger, and then just kind of let go in that motion, and you're simulating that movement of kind of just resting on the string and coming off, as you would do with a natural harmonic. But the difference is that you've now got to try and get the technique in order to go from that to that. So yeah, and you'll know when you've got that harmonic, because hopefully you can hear a definite difference between the note ringing out and then the harmonic of that note. But again, it's all in the timing of doing it. It's just trial and error, really. But anyway, that's it. Those are artificial harmonics. So what you can do with artificial harmonics, it now means that any note that you've got on your guitar, you can get a harmonic of, but by using that technique with the right hand. So yeah, it very much it very much is what it sounds like of being an artificial artificial harmonic of not being a natural harmonic. But hopefully that makes sense. That's artificial harmonics. The lesson has been finished for tonight. And I'll put that back up on the wall, and I'm now going to turn off that. So thank you for that donation. Hopefully that makes sense. Melody Rock says, thanks, you explained it clearly. So yeah, thank you for that. I think it's a technique that you probably see more of in kind of acoustic guitar and acoustic players who might they might put in maybe 3 or 4 or 5 artificial harmonics where they are playing a chord, and then they will do the artificial harmonics of that chord. So they will be effectively plucking the string but having their first finger resting on it across all of those. So yeah, it gives it kind of quite a nice sound. And yes, it's a good technique to have for that kind of stuff. Also, I mean, if we're talking about players like Eddie Van Halen, when you got a lot of distortion on the guitar and all that kind of stuff, then playing the string and just lightly tapping where the harmonic is, then you'll get that sound. I'm trying to think of, I think Eddie Van Halen did that. He might have done it in Eruption, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, playing a string and just lightly touching it, so stopping it from vibrating. But when you've got lots of distortion and low to sustain, it means that it's such a loud sound that when you just touch the string, you'll be able to get you'll hear that harmonic through there. But that's not the technique that I just did. It's just literally plucking the string and then just putting your finger on the note where it would be that octave higher. So anyway, that was that. Thank you for that donation. And Sandra has donated £20 as well. So thank you for that, Sandra. And that's a straight up donation. And Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, why do hollow body electrics sound different than solid body? It seems like more than just the air space. So thank you for that, Steve. And I'm just going to skip this advert over here. And I mean, I would say that generally, I mean, I don't have a load of experience playing, with hollow body guitars, and because I've just mostly played electric and obviously acoustic guitar for teaching, and yeah, so solid body. By the way, when I say electric guitar, it means it doesn't have any kind of space in there. But some guitars, electric guitars, I mean, you've got semi-acoustic guitars or electroacoustic guitars, which is like the guitar behind me here that you can plug in. Now, I mean, it's probably going to be quite a good example. So the guitar here, being an acoustic guitar, has lots of space because that's what creates the sound. So the sound of the strings go into the guitar, they kind of resonate, they bounce around, and they come out of the sound hole, and then you get the sound of the guitar. And it all happens very, very quickly indeed. So when you now take that principle to now an electric guitar that has space inside it rather than being a solid body. So it means it's got no air in the body. So an acoustic guitar here has air inside its body, as you can see. An electric guitar here doesn't have any air inside it. It's just a solid bit of wood. So if you now have a guitar that has a little bit of space in there, I mean, what I find is, and the only thing that I can relate it to really is, I'd say that guitars that are hollow body guitars are more geared towards cleaner sounds and more kind of jazz and, you know, blues to a certain extent. So when you start getting past, and when I say blues, I mean not kind of really overly heavy stuff with loads of distortion. I'm talking about still having clean tones but playing the blues, like B.B. King, for example. So you've got guitars that have a hollow body tend to work better with, I say tend to, definitely work better with cleaner tones and cleaner sounds. Because if you compare, and I can only speak from my own experience, playing a hollow body guitar and putting a bit of distortion on there, all of a sudden all hell will break loose and you'll start getting feedback, and it'll be an absolute nightmare to try and keep whatever you've got under control, because the sound runs away with itself, because it just, yeah, it's almost like the extra space in the guitar allows resonance to be at the forefront. So therefore, when that sound, when the sound waves start bouncing around inside that body, it's almost like they're hitting the body and resonating more and more and more. And it is the same principle really as the acoustic guitar, where you've got sound now moving around inside the guitar, and that's going to make feedback more prevalent and start to kick in even earlier, because you're getting a lot of resonance within the guitar. And if you get resonance, like, I'm going to get really complicated here, but I don't know whether you'll know what I'm talking about when I'm talking or saying about having resonant frequencies, where, say for example, you're getting your song mastered and there's a particular frequency that's resonating and you don't want it to. And generally what happens is you can be listening to a song and, say for example, on a particular note, it kind of goes and you get this resonance that kicks in that can have that sound of feedback. And that resonance can turn into feedback because it's a particular frequency that is susceptible to setting off feedback. So anyway, if you imagine all of that in a guitar, if you start adding distortion and volume and all of that to a hollow body guitar, then because there's so much bouncing around, or a lot more obviously than a solid body, there's a lot more bouncing around, so the likelihood of getting feedback is increased. I would say significantly increased from my own experience of playing hollow body guitars. So yeah, that's like I said, I don't have a lot of experience, but I would say that when you say it seems like more than just the airspace that makes it sound different with hollow body electrics, I don't know, it's difficult, because I would say that the space is the thing that is fundamentally changing what's happening, because you're now getting a space where sound can bounce around. In a solid body you don't have that, so that's going to be the main difference. And also, of course, if you're playing not going into an amplifier, you're going to hear the strings, a lot more clearly than if you've got a solid body. There's no place for that noise from the strings to go. So yeah, but not that you're going to be playing a hollow body electric, like an acoustic guitar, because you'd buy an acoustic guitar for that. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. Hopefully that makes sense, explaining the difference and how sound waves now have a place to go and bounce off areas and angles and all of that extra space, even though it's not a lot of space, but just having that extra space will mean that those frequencies those resonant frequencies can start to interact with the wood of the guitar and potentially with the electrics, and you can then start getting that feedback loop, and it can be a nightmare. So anyway, thank you for that, Steve. Right, moving on, we have a donation from Nicole. So thank you for that, Nicole, and it's for £12. The message is, hello, bonsoir, Phil. Congrats for 480,000 subscribers, for the prosperity of Wings of Pegasus. Good week. Phil, take care. Kisses for you and rock for all. So thank you for that, Nicole. And Tammy has donated £50. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 480,000 subscribers. Keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to seeing your continued success. Love and rock. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Gordon has donated £10. Thank you for that, Gordon. And the message is, I always enjoy the thought-provoking analysis that you post. Remember, be true to yourself and don't let the trolls get to you. So thank you for that, Gordon. And yes, don't worry, it's not something that gets to me. We occasionally have a troll corner where I point out something that might have popped up recently, but I don't think there's been anything since the last live stream. So yeah, no trolls to report on so far for over the last, I guess, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's only been a couple of days, so yeah, they haven't had a chance to get involved. But thank you, Lisa W, who has donated £3.71. So thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, hi Phil, have you had any response to Authentic Vocal from the email campaign? Cheers. So thank you for that, Lisa. And not at the moment, or not yet, and I will let you guys know over on Patreon as soon as anything, if I receive anything, because at the moment we're just doing 3 email addresses a week. So yeah, we're being kind of really what's the word, I don't know, conservative maybe, with approaching too many people, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I will let you guys know as soon as there is anything over on Patreon. I will let you know about that. But yeah, thank you for that. And Karen has donated £11.12. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, greetings from beautiful California, Phil. You are so gracious not to charge for analysis videos. I briefly checked out a different channel, was not my genre though, and they actually charge $50 in order to have a song checked out. So I assume that's $50. But yeah, I mean, I have said that there are other channels that, you know, they do what they do, and if they want to charge people for looking at a song or looking at a request, then that's up to them, but it's not something that I'm going to be doing, or that I think, well, I think everything is just as valid as everything else, and I'm very much on that side of it, that thinking, well, if somebody wants to have a song analysed and they don't have a lot of money, you think, well, it's not really fair on them, because you just get the people who are making a lot of money just getting the same songs analysed over and over and over again. Like, imagine, for example, there was a millionaire who was a big fan of a particular band or artist, and every video was the same band or artist. You think, well, yeah, that's not really... that's not what I do. I'm about looking at everything and appreciating everything and pointing out what's going on with everything. Because, you know, music is an art form, and I guess the opposite of the art form would be like paying for something. You know, to ensure that, yeah, oh, what I want is what's going to be accepted. And they say, oh, yes, but why should we spend more time on yours rather than everyone being equal? And then that person says, well, I'll give you this amount of money. And then it's up to the person doing it whether they say, oh, yes, well, yeah, that is my price. Yeah, everyone's got a price. But yeah, I don't know. Even that saying, everyone's got a price, I don't know. I think that if... yeah, let's not get into that debate, because I'd like to think, well, yeah, if you were genuinely objective about everything, then if somebody said, oh, you know, name your price for doing a particular thing. I've already mentioned about the AI company who offered a 6-figure sum to take all of my information, to feed it to their AI and all of my videos, my music and everything. But when they say everyone's got a price, I say, well, yeah, I don't know. I think, well, as long as I've got a roof over my head and food and water, then I'm not going to do something that I don't really agree with just for an amount of money. So anyway, let's not get into that. But other channels do it how they do it, but I do it how I do it. And I'm not going to be charging for analysis videos because it's not something that I've ever considered doing, because everything is equal. At least it should be in life, but in music as an art form. So anyway, yes, thank you for that, Karen. And I mean, what I've just seen is, and this happens all the time, when I've opened up the messages over on Patreon, because I need the link from Joe for the Phil Jam if we do indeed reach that target at the end of the live stream. But I can see that we're a bit of a way away from hitting the target. At the moment, we are at 368 likes and we're looking for 515, which means we need more. So there's the maths for tonight. We need more likes. So if you can hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, and then we'll bust out the guitar. But back to looking at the message from Joe, because I can see that at the bottom of the screen, the message that I've written that I must have meant to have sent, I don't know, at the end of the last live stream or maybe the day after, so maybe yesterday, I haven't pressed the enter button or the enter key. So it means that my message is still there and it hasn't sent yet. So anyway, I'm going to send that to Joe now, because he was just saying about how my strings on the gem are holding on, because at some point they are going to break, but the last live stream they survived. So there you go. I've just replied, even though I meant to do that a couple of days ago. But I always write a message and then I'll look at something else, and I don't know what it will be. It'll be maybe somebody else's email or message or a YouTube video or request that's just come through, and I'll then make a note of that, and then I'll get into something else, and then I'll do something else, and I'll forget to just actually press the enter key to message or send the message. And that's just reminded me that, there's something like the first computers where it says, there was something on screen. I can't remember what it is. Maybe people can tell me in the live chat room, but I've got it. On the first computers, in order to start the computer, it said on the screen, please press any key. And the number one call that the support were getting about the computers, because they were such a new thing, people were saying, I don't know where the any key is on the keyboard, because they're looking at all of these numbers and letters, and when it says please press any key, they couldn't find the any key. So there you go. Something that I read that I found quite entertaining, because computers were so new, they didn't mean, no, literally any key. Just press anything and then you can go through to the next screen. So anyway, there you go, bit of trivia. Right, thank you, Karen, for that donation. And Angela has donated £14.83. Thank you for that, Angela. The message is, hello, Phil. How is the AV email campaign going so far? Angela. So thank you for that. And yeah, it kicked off last Thursday. So yeah, the wheels are in motion on it. I'm still very much focusing on the adding of acts, artists and bands, and yes, Shirley Lewis and the George Michael Singers will be added soon. I just need to get from Shirley, and I spoke to Shirley today about it. She's got to send me the video file for me to do the analysis and run through, even though I know that they wouldn't be using auto-tune or pitch correction and not doing it live, but I need to go through, and this is the other thing, that everything is independently verified by me, so I do go through the whole process with everyone that is featured on the YouTube channel and on Instagram. So even though I know Shirley and I know what their shows consist of, I still get the audio file and still analyze it and go through all of that. So anyway, so I'm still doing that side of things. As for the campaign, that's something that's going to be running over the following weeks and gradually will be rolled out. At the moment, we're just focusing on UK contacts, but then in the future it'll roll out to the USA as well, and different places and YouTube channels, all that kind of stuff. So thank you for that, Angela. And Debbie has donated £5. Thank you for that, and that is a straight up donation. And Diane has donated £11 and 12 pence. So thank you for that. And the message is, that sound reminded me of an oldie, Pictures of Matchstick Men by Status Quo. So thank you for that, Diane. And I don't know, maybe that was the pinched harmonic or the artificial harmonics that I was demonstrating earlier. But thank you for that donation. Right, so, okay, 395. We are almost needing, well, that'll be what, 120? So we need 120 more people before the end of the live stream. And that's quite a lot of people, but we will see. If we can get to 400, that'll be the first hurdle out of the way. And then, we will maybe get up to 515. Who knows? But tonight, the Phil Jam will be 5 minutes and 27 seconds. So not particularly long, but we will maybe get there. Maybe we won't. So, by the way, and I can see that we're, approaching 10 to midnight here. In the live chat room, at the top of the live chat room, we have the vote for tonight's cover video. And it's between Lay It on the Line and Miles Away. And it looks like Lay It on the Line is in the lead with 53% of the vote. So, Melody Rock says, we didn't have a troll corner last live stream. You said you will have it today. Oh, okay, let me think. Did I make a note of that? No, I think, was that last week that I said we'll have to do it at the next one, and then I did it on Saturday? Maybe. But I definitely spoke about the Celine Dion person that was messaging about the Olympics. I'm sure that I've spoken about that from last time, or maybe in the last live stream I was remembering a particular troll and now I can't remember what it was. So because I don't make a note of them. But Cindy says no, it was Saturday. And then Joe says we had a troll corner on Saturday. And then Diamond Girl says we ran out of time. So I don't know who is telling the truth here. Either we had a troll corner or we didn't. But I seem to remember talking about the Celine Dion and the Olympics, or maybe I didn't explain it. So did I explain it or not? Oh, and then Corey says April Fools. Oh, Angela says we did not have a troll corner, Phil. And then you mentioned troll corner. Oh, Elaine says I'm remembering one on Tuesday. Okay, right. So we'll jump into troll corner, and I feel like I've already said all of this, but I'll say it again. See you guys in a second. So this particular troll comment that I was thinking about was about the Olympics thing. And the reason that it was surprising is because I thought that was all over and done with, because I'd managed to match up the 3 audio files of Celine Dion's vocal, and it's the same audio file. Anyway, the person said, or maybe I didn't get into these details, the person said, your analysis is bogus because only Celine Dion had an in-ear monitor, but there was an orchestra at the base of the Arc de Triomphe. No, it wasn't the Arc de Triomphe, or it might have been. But anyway, they might have been playing there, and Celine might have been singing on the Eiffel Tower, or they might have been at the base of the Eiffel Tower. Maybe that's what it was. So anyway, the person said, how could they possibly have stayed in time with Celine if they didn't have in-ear monitors? And that question, if anything, should make you think, well, yeah, how have they stayed perfectly in time with Celine if she's the only one with the in-ear monitor? So anyway, the person was trying to say that the vocal was live because of that way of thinking. But when you look at it objectively, maybe take a step back, you've got to think, well, yeah, how is it all in time if they can't hear her voice? Because especially if they're not, they weren't where she was. So you think, well, if there's any kind of time difference or delay in Celine hearing the orchestra, that's going to mess everything up. So how is it all in time? So the person really, with their own comment, should have thought, oh yeah, how is this all in time when they can't even hear her voice? How will they know when she's finished? So anyway, ultimately, the vocal, because we know that the vocal's the same audio file, it's the same. And I did say to the person that if you match up the performance from the rehearsal, the performance at the opening ceremony, and the performance at the judo arena, they all match up perfectly. And that's going from the instrumental perspective as well. The timing is perfect to the 100th of a second. So the only explanation for that is that it's the same track being played and it's the same audio being played 3 times over. So anyway, I tried to explain it to this person, but again, it just left me saying, I cannot explain this any more clearly. If you still don't understand it, then I can't help you. Because even they're saying that my analysis is bogus, it means that they haven't understood it, that we're looking at the same audio file and they maybe don't appreciate the detail with which I'm looking at the performance in, and that we can match the vocal 3 times over, as I have done. So that was a bit of a strange one, just because it was a very old video, and since then we had another performance that Celine did at a fashion show, and I matched that audio file with one from Las Vegas in like 2018 or something. So it's still another audio file that has existed. So we can literally match them up as I did for the Olympics one. So once you can match audio files, there's no discussion to be had after that, because you've matched, and I've matched the audio file, and other people can match the same audio file, and it's been cross-referenced. Other people have done it, and it is what it is objective, and that's a fact, that is the same vocal. So yeah, 3 times over. And then the one at the fashion show, which was a different song, I think it was, maybe Power of Love, but I'm not sure. I might have just made that up. So but we matched the same song, whichever it was, the same audio file from her Las Vegas show. So anyway, that was Troll Corner for tonight. Surprising one, because it's from an old video which I thought was all done and dusted, and that people, especially the amount of data that I have, can understand what I'm saying. And I did say to the person, the fact that the video still exists on my channel is proof enough that what I'm saying is factual, and I'm not making this up. I haven't manufactured or manipulated the data. The fact that it's still there, it is testament to what I'm saying, because there's no way it still would be there if what I was saying were a lie, because they would remove it straight away, because they obviously wanted to keep it all covered up, and didn't want to. I mean, even people involved with the performance weren't honest about it. So clearly they didn't want people to know exactly what was going on, but yeah, it would be removed straight away. And I know that it would be, because I know that not only the people to do with the performance, but the legal teams know about my channel, know about my videos. But when they speak to their lawyers, unfortunately they'll say, oh, can we take this video down? The lawyers will say, well, no, because he's showing something that we can do and get the same result. And that's not going to work in a court of law. You say he's lying, what he's saying is false, and then somebody else does the the judge could do the same test and get the same results that I've got in my video. So that's the problem, that because I'm just basing it all on objective facts and literally using the audio from the performance, there's nothing that you can do about that. And that's why the video still exists. And that's why when people say, oh, what you're saying isn't true, just think about it for a second. The reason that it still exists is because it is true. But anyway, let's get out of Troll Corner, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So we are approaching midnight here in the UK, and we're looking for 90 more people to hit the thumbs up. So we will keep an eye on it. It's going to need one hell of a spike of the likes before the end of the live stream in order to have a filled jam. But who knows? Right. Oh, there's been another donation in the PayPal window and another donation in the Super Chat window. So thank you for these. It is Crizzy who's donated $7.99. So thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil. I keep meaning to ask if that is art behind you or a sound pad. So thank you for that. And no, it's not art. But thank you for the compliment. No, it's just foam in order to diffuse sound waves, to say in a fancy way. But yeah, but this room isn't soundproofed, but it's just something to deal with the sound waves bouncing around and being a little bit too resonant. And I probably could put more in here, but for the moment, it's absolutely fine. I think with everything, I'm not, worried about the analysis videos, vocals being really pristine, and I'm not kind of treating the vocals in the same way that I would with a studio vocal, for example, for a song. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about it. But no, it's not. It's not a piece of art. So, but thank you for thinking that it was. So thank you as well to the next person, Cindy, who has donated over on PayPal. It took a while to load that one, but Cindy says, hi Phil, we ran out of time. Oh, this is a little bit delayed. We ran out of time for Troll Corner last time because the jam was so long, so it was going to be held over to today. So there we go, we've had the Troll Corner for tonight. So yes, I can see that somebody was saying about the time being different, but the time is now the same. We are now in British summertime, I believe, with summer coming up, which means that, I think we're still getting used to the fact that when you think you've got more time in the day and you look at the clock, you realise, oh, I haven't got more time because we've lost an hour, and what was 8 o'clock is now 9 o'clock. And I did actually panic before tonight's live stream because I've been all over the place with the time. It looked like on the clock it said 22 minutes past 11, like 23. But it's just the angle that I was at that it looked like that. And then I checked on the screen, but it was 23 minutes past 10, 22. It looked like 23. So I did panic for a minute thinking, oh, what? I'm 22 minutes late for my own live stream. But no, it was okay. So the time is a little bit difficult, just still getting used to losing an hour because I didn't have an hour to lose in the first place with how busy things are, but we just have to try and deal with it. Right, so we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video, and I can see that it's going to be laid on the line with 52% of the vote, so it was a close one for tonight. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up, we're going to need a massive spike of the likes. It's going to be what 50, 65 or 73 people or something like that. I know that it is changing, but if we get to 450, then it'll be easy to work out because then it'll be 65 more people. So what's that? 72 more people? I'm not sure. Let's stop the maths. Let's get into the cover video for tonight, my version of Lay It on the Line. I hope you guys enjoy it. The Triumph Classic, as I always say. And yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. And we'll see if we have a fill jam at the end of the live stream. That's what we will do if we hit the target. So I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Just another friend. I wanna love you, I wanna make you mine. Won't you lay it on the line? I'm tired of playing foolish games. I'm tired of all of your lies making me insane. I don't ask for much, the truth will do just fine. Won't you lay it on the line? Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Don't waste my time. Got no right to make me wait. You better talk, girl, before it gets too late. Never ever thought you could be so unkind. Won't you lay it on the line? Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Lay it on the line. Don't waste my time.
And there we have it. That was my version of Lay It on the Line by Triumph. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. So I think we're going to have time for something else before the end of the live stream, because we are still looking for I don't know how many more. What is that, 52? I'm not sure. We're looking for more people to hit the thumbs up to have the fill jam, but I don't think we're going to make it because, yeah, we're looking for 515. We've got 463. And it might be to do with the time zone. I think that's what some people have said in the live chat room. But I can't just suddenly extend the live streams by 10 minutes because we have the moderators in there who are based in the UK, and they are at least on the agreement that at midnight is when the live stream ends, because that's quite late here in the UK. So if we don't hit the target, then it will just roll over to Saturday, and if we do hit the target then we will have tonight's Phil Jam then, number 223. So because we have some extra time, what shall we do? Probably a Phil tune, because I think we had a riff of the week last time or the time before. So which one of the Phil tunes shall we have a look at? I'm going to have a look in the live chat room. Now, I always say that I can't remember if I have the fireworks one, but there is a button here that I have labeled fireworks, and I don't know if it is the correct video that it will go to, because I think there are a couple of different versions of it. So anyway, background story I can give you guys on this, because we had Essex County, the band and the guys that I added to Authentic Vocal, and their song called Dust. That's what I featured on Authentic Vocal. So I said in a video at some point that I did a gig with them years ago, and this is over 10 years ago now. So I just happened to be playing at the same gig that they were playing at, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever. And we spoke about it for a long time, actually, at the venue and the event, because of how ridiculous it was. And this was the event, the fireworks gig that this Phil tune is about. I'm going to click on it and we'll see what it is. But this is what myself and Essex County were playing at. So just have that in your mind. If you know the Essex County guys, and you know how great they are, and just amazing, myself and they were playing at this event. So have that in your mind's eye when you're watching this Phil tune. And I'll see you guys after. Rock!
So, Phil, it was great to have you on the show this morning. Thank you for getting up at this ungodly hour to talk with me. Our audience absolutely loved it. In fact, we've had one call since the interview, so things are hectic, which is a great sign.
Thanks, Steve, it's no problem. Having one call so far is great, even though it sounded suspiciously like a wrong number from your response.
Oh my actual gosh. I just had the most fantastic idea for you that couldn't possibly backfire or end in total disaster.
That sounds ominous, but I will hear you out given that you're a well-respected DJ in the local vicinity.
I know the organizer of the biggest fireworks show in the area. He's booking acts this year to perform in front of the crowd. Last year there were 6,000 people there. Oh wow, this is going to be amazing.
Well, guff me. I was not expecting that, as it does sound like a fantastic opportunity. We are normally offered fantastic gigs in front of toilets or in pubs that look like libraries, basically anything that guffs us royally.
Trust me. There will be a big stage, a festival-sized sound system due to the crowd size. Every single last detail will be meticulously organized.
Wow. Finally an event that is going to be organized properly, ha 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 ha.
So, the show is in 4 weeks' time. I hope that's okay?
Well, that is soon. But, with 2 or 3 rehearsals a week at a substantial cost to myself, hiring session musicians and rehearsal space, it is possible. It will mean emptying my bank account, but no matter. In the end it will all be worth it to play in front of 6,000 people, and I'll make the money back from merch and album sales. I will also get a few thousand flyers made up to hand out to promote the album, as it'll be most definitely and undoubtedly fantastically worth it and totally not something I'm going to regret. Well, this is a little queer. I'm sure this was the exact location I have been given for the festival stage. Surprisingly, I somehow can't seem to hear the clanking of the stage crew assembling the stage and sound system.
Hello, Steve here.
Oh hi Steve, it's Phil.
You have reached my phone. I'm unable to take your call right now as I'm on holiday for 3 weeks currently and haven't taken my phone.
Oh ruddy heck.
Please leave a message.
Okay, this is not ideal. Maybe I'll ask that guy standing by that burger van. I have been avoiding eye contact, but needs must. Hello there. I wonder if you could help me. I'm looking for the location of a fireworks gig happening later tonight.
Hello.
Okay. So do you know the location for the event, and where the stage is?
Well, if you give me maybe 10 minutes, I'll crack on with setting up the stage, as I'm currently snowed under at the moment.
Ha 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 ha. That was a good one, a greatly fantastic joke and piece of banter, even though we have just met. But seriously, where is the stage?
The stage is in the black van over there. It will take me maybe 10 minutes to set up, as it is part of the van, it just folds out.
I have a deep respect for your dry sense of humor and your dedication to maintaining the aforementioned hilarity. Tonight I'm performing with my band, in front of 6,000 people. It's going to be absolutely super crazy on a mental level. I have my merch, flyers, CDs, family to help run the stall, the whole shebang, to recoup the money I've spent over the last 4 weeks to make the most of this fantastic opportunity. I just need to find where the ruddy heck it is.
Are you Phil, from Wings of Pegasus?
No doubt you just purely recognize me from my distinctive look, having checked me out on the internet, after my most excellent radio interview. I really highly doubt to the strongest level of conviction that it's because you have anything to do with what I'm talking about, or at least, I pray to the Lord of Guff that is the case.
Was it Steve from the radio station you spoke with?
Oh guff off. Apologies for that outburst. But, I've just been hit by the disturbing reality that this may well, indeed, as ruddy ridiculous as it sounds, not be the sickest of all jokes.
Yes, Wings of Pegasus will be playing in the van tonight, and no, there will not be 6,000 people here. The fireworks are happening in another field, and we decided to keep the music separate.
Well, that is fantastic news. My family will be overjoyed at the prospect of watching me and my band's headline set for 30 minutes, that we've been rehearsing religiously for 4 weeks, faced with the prospect of selling all the merch and CDs to no one.
A few things about that. The stage, which is just a van with the side removed, doesn't have space for more than one person. In fact, there are no mics or capability for live music. Also, your set has been reduced to 4 minutes as we have booked some school children to perform interpretative dance for 25 minutes before you. Therefore, you will have to perform to a backing track that is under 4 minutes. You can sing to that as I have a mic and small PA. By the way, the mic doesn't fit any mic stand ever designed in the history of the earth, so it will strike you in the face mid-performance.
By mid-performance, you mean 2 minutes into the performance?
Precisely.
Fantastic, this really is a dream come true. Like a dream where my bum is being guffed repeatedly, in the face. Well, I can just see my band arriving now with their families to see this epic show in front of 6,000 people. It's really amazingly great actually, because I've not only wasted all my money preparing for this, but I can tell my band they've just wasted 4 weeks of their lives. Even better, they can tell their families who have all traveled here, that there is no crowd and they might as well guff off back home. Unruddy believable.
And there we have it. Unruddy believable indeed. So, yeah, that was the show that I was talking about with Essex County. So, it was a stage that folded out from the side of a van, and the event, I mean, as it was sold to me by this radio presenter, was going to be in front of 6,000 people. But yeah, for this year, they decided to not have the music where the crowd was. It was in another field. So it's nowhere near anything. So we're just, and same with Essex County, and they're actually on a lot earlier than I was. So yeah, they were just playing to nobody. Well, I was stood there, and yeah, there's nobody around, and they're just kind of going through their set. And exactly what I say there in that particular fill tune was true, that they had children doing a dance for about 25 minutes, and yeah, because that overran into my set time, I had to do something for 4 minutes. And of course, you know, if the band had wanted to set up, that would have taken longer than 4 minutes. And yes, I was given a microphone that was too big for the microphone holder, because it wasn't a standard SM58. It was some, you know, one of those bespoke wireless mics that comes with a speaker or something. So it didn't fit anything. So of course I jammed it in there. And then, yeah, just when I started to sing, it obviously jumped out and hit me in the face. So there you go. All fun times in the life of a musician. This kind of stuff is just 10 a penny. So there you go. That was the fill tune for tonight. And yeah, that fireworks show, it's gone down in history for being probably the worst thing ever that I've been involved with. So anyway, Ruben has donated 2,000 Argentinian pesos, if I remember correctly. And the message is, Wings of Pegasus, a shelter for rock. Hello, everyone. So thank you for that. And it is 20 past midnight here. So we're going to be calling things to a close. And I'm going to be live streaming on Saturday, so tonight's Phil Jam will roll over to then. And if we hit the goal on Saturday night, then we'll have Phil Jam number 223. So we were close, but no cigar for tonight. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. And thank you guys for all of the donations. You don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I'll see you at tomorrow night's video. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you then. Rock!